never seen nothing like that. What is that?
So when you pull up the net and oh, that thing is there, what's going through your mind?
I don't know. I call it. It's crazy. I mean, it's an ugly fish.
Caught on camera and caught on a hook. Take a look at this massive gator right here. This alligator is more than 13 feet tall.
The result of fishing from within the vast ocean sometimes reels out the kind of a catch that may not always be what you'd hope for.
Look at that.
Stay tuned for some of the wildest fisherman catches that no one fathomed to have existed.
Oh! Did you see that?
Oh my God.
Catching a huge fish is every fisherman's dream, and these guys out in the water witnessed the most phenomenal sight. All their casted lines became useless when a huge fish jumped out of the water and fled right over their boat and went into the water again. The guys were left stunned. Here's another clip of a marine giant breaching out of nowhere. The unsuspecting guy on the boat was recording the serene ocean when an enormous whale jumped out of the water, sending shockwaves through the entire boat. Thankfully, the blow wasn't strong enough to upturn the boat, but it was pretty scary seeing this giant up close. Giant fish. This fisherman in Thailand was out to make history when he caught this enormous fish weighing around 297 pounds. And now he was struggling to pull his prized catch out onto his boat. And it was proving to be a mighty task. The massive fish almost overturned the boat, but the guy didn't give up and was finally able to pull his catch aboard. Hope he was able to make it to the shore without the paddle he lost during his tug of war. 2-in-1 fish. Everyone loves a good 2-in-1 offer, but what if you got that in a fish? Yeah, you heard that right. An angler found this fish in his net and had no idea what was up with it. Sporting 2 wide gaping mouths and 2 sets of eyes, its looks were nothing short of freaky when the clip was posted online in hopes of finding answers. Some suggested it might be a genetic mutation, while others thought excessive water pollution might be at play. However, what do you guys think of this fish? Let me know in the comments. Mud fishing. According to my information, fish live in water and won't be able to survive out of it. But this clip seemed to defy all basic beliefs. This guy was digging up muddy ground and see what he found underground? Fish! Lots of it! And it wasn't even some tiny ones. These were giant catfish living in what looks like an underground oasis. The mystery behind how these were able to pull this off was solved when someone online revealed that these catfish bury themselves underground in little water during the dry season. And once the hot weather is over and the land is filled with water again, they make it their home again. Chasing gator. A man visiting Hilton Head, South Carolina, captured a very scary encounter between a fisherman and an alligator. The poor guy was trying to make a catch when suddenly an alligator jumped out of the pond and charged towards the guy, who ran to save his life. Thankfully, no one was injured and the alligator re-entered the pond shortly after. This clip is just proof how unpredictable these reptiles can be, so you need to be extra careful around them. As if jumping out wasn't enough, these reptiles have now decided to even steal from you. Have a look at this little Florida boy trying his luck at fishing in.
It's all right, buddy. Keep going. You got it.
And before he had the chance to reel in his very first catch, a gator jumped out of the water and stole his fish, snatching away his fishing pole as well. The little guy was probably left too scared to ever try fishing.
Oh my God.
smoking fish. Who doesn't enjoy smoked fish? But have you ever heard about a fish smoking? Here's a bizarre clip that has been making rounds on the internet, leaving people baffled. A fish was caught smoking as if its life depended on it. The cameraman stood staring in shock as a fish exhaled a huge plume of smoke. Netizens have been going crazy after watching the video, with some making jokes while others expressed their concerns about the health of the fish. No explanation has turned up yet, and the video remains a mystery. Mysterious mass. While cruising through the Jerjoga waters in Indonesia, these fishermen came across this strange-looking white blob floating in the water. Appearing to be stiff and cut with a knife, the guys at first thought it might be some marine animal corpse. But they later discovered that it was actually whale's vomit. And before you get all grossed out, let me tell you that this vomit is usually worth millions of dollars. Yeah, that's right. Ironically, it's famous for its unique scent and is used to make expensive perfumes. Albino catfish.
Rare catch. Albino catfish was caught while fishing at Blue Hole Landing on Lake Russell.
A teenager's fishing expedition ended up on a news channel, and for all the good reasons. While trying his luck in Lake Russell, this guy caught a rare albino catfish, a condition that caused it to lose its skin pigment. The fish might look exotic at first, but it has its own challenges. Being this light in the wild, it becomes an easy target for predators, and having no pigment in the eyes, this little one is pretty much blind. Unexpected resurgence.
Oh! Did you see that?
A bad day at fishing isn't just about not finding a catch, but having one snatched away at the last minute. During a fishing trip along the Miami coast, an elderly couple experienced an exhilarating encounter when a massive shark stole their catch.
Oh! Did you see that?
Initially, the angler thought he had hooked a significant prey.
Oh no.
But to his surprise, a huge shark lunged onto the fishing line, snatching the remains. As the remnants surfaced, the aggressive shark swiftly grabbed them with its teeth, cutting the line, and disappeared into the water. The couple, astonished by the predatory act, captured the moment on video, showcasing the raw power and efficiency of this formidable marine predator. Nude fishing catch. Catching such a huge fish with nothing but bare hands is quite a skill, and also takes a bit of guts as well. A girl from Dallas, Texas was noodling for catfish when she found an elusive paddlefish that took the bait. After a few minutes of struggle, this young woman managed to secure the rare catch with her arms and bring its 87-pound body to the surface and out of the water. Interestingly, this catch was reported to be far more challenging than it appeared. All in all, she managed to do it on her own, while just the mere size of this fish would terrify most big and stronger people. Two-headed fish. Ever heard of a fish with two heads? Sounds like something from a sci-fi movie, right? But it's real. Have a look. Scientists call it dicephaly, a very rare condition that happens naturally thanks to a mix of genes and environment. There's more. Another strange-looking fish was found swimming in the same tank. A real fishy creature that apparently had fused eyes and no mouth. Seems like whoever owns these fish is really into collecting extraordinary creatures. Massive swordfish.
Fish, guys. That's a nice swordfish.
Look at that!
Yeah, boys.
While on a fishing expedition off the coast of Florida, these guys were able to make the catch of a lifetime.
Yeah, baby. Woo!
Casting their lines into the open water, they waited for something to take the bait. Soon, feeling a tug on the line, Their expectations were exceeded when they found a gigantic swordfish with a hook in its mouth on the surface. Trying to contain their delight, they quickly went to pull the fish on board and put it in a container filled with ice to keep fresh. Once ashore, they weighed it, and it turned out to be 182 pounds.
I got 173.
182.5.
After cleaning it up, it was dinner time with a massive feast. Great white shark. It's not every day you get more than what you want. While fishing for bass, this guy accidentally pulled the one and only great white shark. At first, unaware of his catch, he was in for quite a shock when the shark swam under his kayak and then jumped out of the water.
I seen it going directly under the kayak, and it was like, holy cow, this thing is massive.
Worried that the shark might drag him away, he instantly cut the line, and thankfully it went away without causing any unfortunate incident.
Look at the size of this shark under me. Wow.
These marine giants sure like to mark their territories to make sure people are aware of their power. Here's another clip where a fisherman in Queensland, Australia had an unexpected encounter with a great white shark. While out at sea, this guy just wanted to catch a couple fish, but ended up in a dramatic situation when the lethal fish started circling his boat.
Wow. Look at the size of him.
Alone in his tiny boat and scared out of his mind, his prayers were answered when he caught the shark swimming away from the boat. Fish with stomach out. Every fisherman wants to catch an extraordinary fish, and this guy right here got a very unusual one.
What the hell? What is that?
While out in the sea, his line caught this giant grouper fish with big bulging eyes and its stomach and its mouth.
What is that?
And you might think this fish was throwing up its guts, but the reality was something else. This is suffering from a condition called barotrauma. When they are pulled up from the deep sea, their insides get pulled out due to sudden pressure change. So the fish is all right, just a bit under pressure. Shortnose Sturgeon. A guy got lucky on one of his fishing adventures when he caught an extraordinary looking fish. Unable to identify it, he posted this video online inquiring about the species. Having a pointed snout, marble-like eyes, and a very curious tube-like mouth, the fish seemed to capture everyone's attention, and viewers quickly identified it as the Shortnose Sturgeon, a small endangered species of North American sturgeon. Here's another clip where a pair of fishermen reeled in the same fish.
That there is a beautiful sturgeon.
This time it was quite big, with purple gills and a thick, strong tail. The fish appeared to struggle against the grip of the man, and if you look closely, its eyes are also moving along with its mouth. What a funny looking fish! Zombie fish. You know how it's impossible for a living thing to come back to life once it's gone? But this fish seems to be an exception. This guy found this bunch of fish lying around, looking like they had passed. The guy even picked at their fins and they were bone dry. But this is where the magic happens. Just as he turned over the fish and poured water on its mouth, it started wiggling. This fish, known as Pleco Fish, hasn't passed away yet, but it has dried up as a way to absorb moisture when water is scarce. Shark pod breaking cover. This angler had his fish wriggle so much that it attracted a little bit too much of an attention. A Florida resident that was out for a recreational fishing trip managed to catch a decent-sized fish, which he did manage to catch, or at least was on the brink of it, until not one, but 3 large sharks appeared in a matter of a couple of seconds. Every shark in this pod was eager to get the fish for themselves. One of them, however, did, but then the fishing hook got stuck inside the mouth of that shark. Unknown creature.
各路大神啊，看看
这是什么东西？
This clip going around on the internet has left everyone shocked. Apparently, a fisherman caught it while out in the river. And unable to tell what it was, he brought it home and put it in the water. With a head too big for its small snake-like body, the creature was a complete anomaly. As the clip ended up online, netizens thought its body resembled a pangolin. But with no visible limbs, the option seemed unlikely. No one has been able to confirm the identity of. However, if you have any clue what this is, let me know in the comments.
看到这么稀奇古怪的东西，这玩意儿不认识。
Albino Lobster. On February 24, 2021, a family-owned seafood company in Boston, Massachusetts, made a remarkable discovery when they caught a rare albino lobster, an occurrence estimated to be 1 in a 100 million. The video captured shows the milky white crustacean in a tank among darker lobsters. The company shared photos of the rare find on their restaurant's Facebook page, highlighting its rarity. In the company's nearly 100 years of operation, this was the first documented albino lobster catch. A surprising event considering they had encountered plenty of blue lobsters and others with unusual pigmentation. The company plans to donate the extraordinary lobster to the New England Aquarium. Cyclops.
We had cut her up and found that inside was a shark with one eye. We'd never seen anything like that before.
Fishermen in Mexico were in for a surprise when they found an extremely rare creature in the Sea of Cortez. A tiny baby shark with just one eye on its head left everyone speechless. The experts had known about the special condition of cyclopia, where the animal only develops one eye. But this was the first case ever to be officially verified. The baby had passed away when it was found and was donated to experts for research purposes. Here's another Cyclops creature, something you would have at least expected. A tiny turtle was found with just one big eye on its pretty non-existent head, paired with a small moving mouth, meaning it was still alive. Scientists got a hold of it to see how the unusual condition affected the turtle's life. Bizarre marine predator. An orca or a shark being on the other end of a catch would be understandable, but what's this? A Thai villager was reeling out a fish when he discovered an unknown fish-sized predator that was on the other end of his catch. It had its teeth fixated on the fish, struggling to snatch it away. It took a brief tug of struggle to have this predator of unknown nature lose its grip, only to be found not giving up. It had 4 limbs and a tail that made it look very much like a land-based animal, yet was too unusual looking to be identified. Mysterious fish. This fish is either the inhabitant of the deep dark seas or a serious case of mutation. A crew of seasoned Russian fishermen were left astonished when they captured this fish with a mysterious nature and were not able to identify its species.
Ну, Наталья, проводи нам экскурсию. Давай, показывай рыбу.
It had an extremely elongated snout with very huge lips. The eyes looked quite ghostly, while its body tissue turned soggy in a matter of minutes, after it was pulled out, revealing that it was an extremely deep fish that thrives in high underwater pressure. Unknown sea creature. This guy's kayaking trip in Dryden, Ontario, Canada took a nightmarish turn when he encountered a myth come alive.
I don't know. It's really big though. Look at the way. Oh, I'm getting scared.
In the distance, he noticed bizarre ridges appear in the water, looking like there was a serpentine creature just underwater. As the kayakers paddled ahead to get a closer look, they were surprised to see that the creature had suddenly disappeared.
It's going away.
Their first thought was that the river serpent from the myths had come alive. However, skeptics suggested that this was probably nothing more than a hoax. Mutant birdfish. Just by looking at the anatomy of this fish, one has to wonder how it would move, let alone thrive underwater. In June 2018, this bizarre fish with a bird-shaped head was caught by a fisherman in Guizhou Province, China. The 1-foot-long fish can be seen gasping for air, its appearance strikingly unusual. According to the Guizhou Urban Daily newspaper, mutant carp are increasingly appearing in local rivers in southwest China, where this particular fish was caught. The clip has gone viral on Facebook, with viewers comparing the fish's head to that of a pigeon or a dolphin. Some speculate it might be a crossbreed of carp and dolphin, or a pigeon, while others suggest it looks like a radioactive fish. Slippery behemoth. This apex predator was so hungry for a mouthful that it didn't regard its safety to be even the point of concern. A fishing trawler off the coast of Belfort, England, that was busy with the routine business of reeling out a bulk catch, only this one included a giant shark within. Despite being pulled out of the water and struggling to breathe, the concern of this wasn't that of getting back into the water, but securing itself a large mouth of their catch. It took much of an effort on both the part of the fishermen to grab the shark and toss it back into the sea. Overly attached fish. It's not that this fish is a parasite, the fact that it sticks around, but is rather an evolution of a survival tactic. A young group of fishermen that were hoping to make a worthy catch found this remora fish that left them intrigued. It started to stick all around on various surfaces. These fish are renowned for attaching themselves to hosts like sharks and whales to feed and protect themselves from predators. The very special topping that they have enables them to be able to attach and cling tightly. Creepy mermaid. Just like the unexplored ocean depths, your known water bodies also harbor unexplainable secrets. And something like this was found when a group of fishermen went out for work. They found this anomalous creature during their expedition. The creature was sporting a fish-like face. The middle part of its body resembled a human, but it had the tail of a fish. The guys had tied its hands behind its body to prevent it from escaping. People thought it might be a mermaid. However, no one was able to confirm its origin, leaving it an unsolved mystery. Pink dolphin. Unlike the case of albinos, this was rather quite a fascinating specimen to discover. On September 23, 2021, a group of whale watchers were left speechless to discover the sighting of a pink dolphin. Having never seen such a beauty, the entire crew decided to get closer and record it on the camera. Many consider themselves lucky to witness such a beauty of nature. The sheer joy of spotting this unusual creature was evident in the reaction of a man who stumbled upon the sight. What made it even more captivating was the presence of its dark gray companions, accentuating the striking pink hue of the dolphin. Half fish. Most animals don't survive with only half their body, but that doesn't seem to be the case with these swimmers. A fish with a huge chunk of its body bit off was filmed in an aquarium. And just look at it go! How is this still going like that? If you think that wasn't enough, see this fish here with more than half of its body gone, and still being able to breathe with only its head. One even came alive while cooking in the oven. If these fish aren't the definition of resilient, then I don't know what is. Scary creeper. Out on a fishing expedition, this guy was testing the waters with his stick to see if there was any predator lurking around.
Ini adalah jebakan predator, guys, ya. Tetapi memang tidak.
When his stick didn't seem enough, he threw in a stone, and right under the calm, murky water, a giant crocodile jumped out, expecting a fleshy bait, but was only met with air. This clip is exactly why you shouldn't swim in such wild waters. It's better to be safe than sorry. Those reptiles are pretty much everywhere. Here's another clip where a kayaker managed to record his worst nightmare. Enjoying his journey, he noticed a strange disturbance in the distance. Zooming in with his camera, he spotted a giant alligator. Ignoring the warning signs, he continued paddling. Then a thunderous splash sounded, and the gator surged towards his boat.
It's coming around, it's coming around.
The video abruptly cut off, leaving the spooky encounter a suspenseful mystery. Hopefully the guy remains safe. Massive catfish.
An Italian angler could be the new world record holder after reeling in this massive catfish.
If you think you have seen the biggest catfish, have a look at this one. Caught by a fisherman in Mantua, Italy. The guy measured the fish to be around 6 feet long, and it took 40 minutes just to reel it in. And he believed his catch might have set a world record of the biggest catfish ever caught. But the claim was never confirmed. Even though believing his catch was massive, he still decided to let the giant go, in hopes to send a message of aquatic life preservation. Enormous goldfish.
Happy?
67.
While fishing in his nearby lake, this British guy made a world record for catching the biggest goldfish ever. Its size looked 100 times more than the tiny ones we used to have as pets, weighing over 67 pounds. The guy found that it was actually a hybrid species of a leather carp and a keocarp. After showing off his catch to the camera, he let the fish go back into the lake. Carrot fish. When this guy discovered a strange-looking fish among the wild cichlids and Florida gars, he kept the fish in a separate pond to observe its changes.
How crazy is this?
He was sure the wild-caught garfish had a genetic mutation that transformed its appearance. The condition of this fish had 1 in 10,000 chances, making this case exceptionally rare. Now, with an orange head, shiny underbelly, and cheetah-like pattern, the fish had transformed greatly within a matter of a few months. The owner was still excited to find out how the rare fish would turn out once it's all grown up.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Look at that. That's what I want to see. Sick.
Giant ray fish. At first, it might look like some demonic entity descending down on Earth, but you'd be shocked to know that its giant is a marine animal, a behemoth manta ray fish. A group of Indian fishermen caught this off the coast of Karnataka. Weighing around 1,650 pounds, they had caught another one that weighed about 550 pounds. Everyone was left in awe of their catch. They had to bring in a crane to haul the massive catch on shore. Most locals were upset that they got the fish out as the species is vulnerable to becoming endangered. Crawly creature. This guy's walk around his nearby river took a horrifying turn when he came face to face with this creepy-looking creature crawling on the foliage-ridden ground. Although its body looked similar to a canine, but its features were completely unidentifiable. The guy who recorded the video had no idea what he was seeing, so he posted the clip online to get some answers. Everyone had different ideas about its origin. Some thought it was an alien hybrid. Others thought it might be a chupacabra, but with no other sighting, the creature has remained unidentified. Creepy frog. This clip of a very odd-looking critter has been going around online, confusing everyone. A huge pale animal was captured in an aquarium, feeding frenziedly. It looked like a frog on steroids. The mystery behind this clip was soon solved when someone pointed out that it was actually an African clawed frog. The one in the clip is an albino. They normally look like this. See their clawed feet? They're enough to scare away any predator, and they get bloated like this due to fluid buildup inside their tiny bodies. Sunfish. Marine biologists, while researching in the Mediterranean, made an extraordinary discovery when they caught an enormous sunfish in a tuna fishing net. The sunfish measured over 10 feet long and more than 9 feet wide. Attempts to weigh it failed, as it surpassed the capacity of a 1,000 kilo scale. Well, they're definitely gonna need a bigger boat to pull this ginormous fish aboard.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Dolphin on board. Seems like this dolphin was more excited about sightseeing than the very tourist on board. In May 2016, a group of tourists were startled when a dolphin leaped out of the water and into their sightseeing boat. The tour group had been enjoying the sight of a pod of dolphins swimming and jumping in Mexico when one especially energetic dolphin jumped onto the deck. Footage shows the dolphin initially attempting to wriggle back into the water, but quickly realizing it was trapped. As the tourists looked on, the guides managed to calm the dolphin by covering its face and gently lifting it back into the water. Alleged Loch Ness. A researcher studying the depths of a Scottish lake, famous for being home to the Loch Ness Monster, did not expect to capture anything unusual in his footage. However, upon reviewing the video from his camera, installed on the lake bed, he was surprised to see a curious fish exploring the area with a long figure slithering through the water's surface in the background. Based on its size and body structure, the researcher believed he had captured footage of the Loch Ness Monster. Despite his conviction, many speculated about the video's authenticity, suggesting it might depict a giant snake instead. What do you think? Mystery Beast. While fishing in the Congo River, the crew, who after reeling out from their fishing trawler, became excited as their net grew so heavy they needed assistance to move it. When the creature in the net surfaced, none of them could identify what they had caught. Its enormous size and unique pattern were unlike any fish they had seen in the area, leading them to declare it a river monster. One has to wonder what it would be like for a beast or a monster to taste like. Monstrous Wolffish. Thinking of dangerous wild animals, you might think of lions and snakes, so let's change that. A fisherman found this monster in his daily catch. Another guy from Russia found the exact same fish. And then again, this fish was found terrorizing the residents of another Russian town. This is a wolffish, a deep-sea creature that has an incredibly powerful bite, and it's not afraid of using it in its defense. So it's better to keep away from them if you ever see one. 16-foot-long oarfish. Even if you've seen or heard of an oarfish, it's unlikely you've encountered one this long. In June 2022, a captivating scene unfolded as a crowd gathered to witness fishermen reel in an enormous oarfish. Spectacular footage captures the massive catch being hooked at the head and carefully transferred from the boat to land using a crane. According to local media reports, the fish measured nearly 6 meters. Notably, the oarfish carries significance in Japanese folklore, where it is considered a bad omen. Open discussion. This picture of a two-faced snake going around online was captured when a guy found the bizarre creature in a muddy pond. Taking it with him, he found out that it was a sand boa snake, a species that's said to have 2 faces, one on each end of its body. The guy showed how it was equally able to control both sides of its body. Found mostly on the Asian continent, these freaky-looking snakes like to live in dry, rocky places. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.